guys, time for a good old channel update for June/July/whenever I feel like doing another one, because I'm notoriously bad for doing channel updates. So a few things to go through, a few shout-outs as well, so we'll get started. And something I just want to say, because there seems to be a bit of confusion about the 1,000 subscriber competition I announced when I rebooted the channel. It's my own fault for not really explaining it. We're not at 1,000 subscribers yet. I'm just pushing the 700 mark now, so about 300 more yet to go. So it might take us a few more. It will take me a few more weeks to get to the 1,000 point mark, but we're getting there. Slowly but surely. I want to say a big thank you to all of you again for hanging in there and continuing to participate and make my channel very enjoyable for me, and I hope for you guys too. So, and for any of you who are interested and haven't yet put your name down, I'll put a link in the description of this video. Go over, click on the link, and then go into the comments and say that you're in, and I will take it from there. So that's that out of the way. Okay, builds. What's been going on? Well, I've been actually working on quite a few projects on the QT, on the Quiet, and there goes the bloody compressor as always. So yeah, what have I been working on? Well, the two Messerschmitt builds, my two 1/48 scale Airfix Messerschmitts, the new tool ones, they're both done. So the E1 that I originally started with Tactical Jackalope Andy as a buddy build, and he was forced to pull out. That's been finished actually for about 2-3 months now. Not too happy with it. My first 48 scale aircraft in a very long time. So like it's pretty alright. Like it's not too bad, but just I don't have much love for it. But the E4, which was the aircraft I've been building since I've come back online again, which is the 109 with the yellow cowling wingtips and rudder, that I've learned a lot between the two of them, and I'm very pleased with that. I was looking up at it on the shelf, and that's before I got all those goodies from AK, so I'll get the chance to use some of them quite shortly. There will also be proper photo reveals of them two builds in the next week or two. It's a little bit tricky trying to get the lighting correct to photograph them and get nice angles on them, so I might actually get it done today. It's a beautiful morning, and I'll try to get that done probably after I make this video. So what else has been going on? Well, if you might recall, a few weeks back, well, a few months ago actually, James Wilcox, Jim sent me out a Tamiya 1/35 scale 88 flat gun set, and I have a big soft spot for that model. There's a lot of nostalgia attached to that for me. That was the first model I built many years ago, totally on my own. I think I was 7 or 8. I think it was 8. And it was the first model that I actually wanted to pick out for myself and build on my own. I was a big rigmarole. We were living down in Cork at the time. Went into the local model shop, ordered it. Your man didn't actually order it because we were moving up to Galway at the time, and you'd have to mail order it on. So we paid him, and the bastard never ordered it. So for years I never got it. I was always pretty disappointed I could never get my hands on that 88 because I really liked this. So a local model shop opened up a few years later, which has since sadly closed about maybe 6-7, maybe actually longer. It's probably been closed for about 6-7 years, I'd say. And it was a great little model shop. Did good selection of Dragon, Tamiya, order anything you wanted. Did Warhammer, did various other games like Magic, what have you. So it was a really good shop, and it's a shame it closed. But they had it, and they actually, that was the first kit I built, ruined half of it, so because I didn't know what I was doing. So I was very excited when he sent me that kit of all kits, because I was actually thinking about buying one myself to do out of the box, and just as a bit of nostalgic build, and to see how far I've come as a model maker. So it is sitting behind me, so I'll put over some of it. It's a bit out of the way. So I wanted to build this kit totally out of the box, no aftermarket. You know, I could put an aluminium barrel into it, but I didn't want to. Aluminium barrels aren't always the end all and be all of model making, as many, like some people tend to think if it's not an aluminium barrel it's not good. I basically spent about 40 minutes, not even quite that. I just sanded it down and you can't even see the seam line on the barrel. It actually looks like a one-piece barrel. In some places you kind of can, especially where these two cooling rings are, but that's just because it's so tight and I can't get any can get my files in without damaging that detail. So I just had to kind of come in quite gently with my scalpel and try to clean it up. But even then, it's not noticeable. So the idea for this is I'm building a diorama for this. I will have a proper video on this when I have it kind of sub-assembled up. It's all gloss coated and filtered, and I'm just waiting now to start the oil weathering on it. So the whole idea for this diorama I'm building at the moment for it, well, I haven't started yet. I just got the Oasis foam, or the florist type foam for the groundwork. I've yet to begin it. I'm kind of bored with the Brumbar. I'm going to be leaving that alone for a couple of weeks or months. I'm sick of looking at it. So a time like her will probably love. My favourite film is Fury. I think it's a wonderful film on so many different levels, other than just the big explosions and tanks. I think the characters, and much as each of the characters didn't have anything going for them or going for them, I actually think it's quite subtle and a cool dynamic that crew has going. You know, they all like each other, but it's kind of bullying a little bit in there too, as in they're all scared of War Daddy's character, Brad Pitt's and all that. Anyway, I'll do a proper video on that in the coming weeks, where I'll kind of put why I think it's a good film and see how people think about it. Anyway, do a critique on it, if you will, which I used to do there was a part of our college course for 3 years was critiquing films, which was always fun. Anyway, so I really like the film Fury, and if you recall, I bought the Bravo 6 model of War Daddy, which is Brad Pitt's character, of a TC, Tank Commander of Fury. So I kind of wanted to set it in that universe, if you will, because realistically, in the time Fury is set, they were probably running up against more 88 flat guns than, well, there should have been really no Tigers really left. There might have been a few, but so rare, because Americans rarely encountered Tiger tanks until really late in the war anyway. Nothing like what the Russians and British encountered. It wasn't really, they didn't really hit anything heavy until really the Ardennes offensive and the what's it called, the Lorraine offensive, is it? I can't quite remember that one, but but most likely at the time they would be running into things like PaK-40s, 88mm guns, and so this is more fitting. So it's going to be like a late war 88. So that's why it's all done quick. And the backstory behind it is actually, it's an 88 that's been pulled out of service, that's originally part of an auxiliary anti-aircraft or flak unit. So it has all the range finding and view setters for anti-aircraft use. And it's just been basically given a gun shield out of stores, which is still in its red oxide primer. So this build was basically for me to try new techniques I'd never used before and perfect those that I hadn't quite got around yet. So far so good. So I've used AK's weathering fluids that I could never get to work until now. I talked to a good few people about it, and they set me straight on how to use it. So that's all weathered using weathering fluids, and then obviously just chipping using the sponging method. Then Sin Industry pre-made filter, went over it a couple of times. Don't use it that often, but really did add a nice bit of colour to the model. But the big thing was first time doing red primer as just a colour on its own. So I used basically what's it called? It's Vallejo's Surface Primer Red Brown, which is the German red brown camouflage, and then just mix Scarlet into it as my highlights. And I don't know how accurate it is. It looks good to me, and that's all that matters. And I'm going to start doing mud. I want the base quite muddy, that the gun is being thrown into position by a crew that's not quite competent at tank warfare, anti-tank warfare. They fired off a few rounds, and their ammunition is all out of the box as well. I'm not buying aftermarket first. And all the casing, the shell casings will be steel. They won't be brass, because at this point of the war, Germany's manufacturing its ammunition with steel casings. Yes, it makes I think it was a bit more wear and tear on the weapons, but they didn't have the brass. They were running out of raw material. They just had to use what they had. So I'll be using the AK True Metals for that, and I'll do a tutorial or a demo on something simple like that, and we'll see how it works. So that's what I'm working on there, and also we'll be doing a good bit of mud effects. I've never done proper mud, and anyone seen Fury, the film is all quite dirty and grimy, so I kind of want the diorama to have that type of look and feel. Also, since yesterday was the anniversary of D-Day, I did start a project to try to make a tribute model diorama build or vignette build for D-Day. Unfortunately, I just didn't get it done in time. I wanted to do it right, so I'm working on a U.S. Army Ranger vignette based on Point de Hoc, which is that very famous position the Rangers stormed quite early in the morning of June 6th. I think they were actually the first assault troops ashore. I think they would have had a short time before the main body to knock out guns that did not actually exist. Lost like 75% of their men doing it. Last thing about Private Ryan, they're second Rangers in Private Ryan, but the reality is the bulk of the second Ranger battalion was actually on Point de Hoc. I think it's only a platoon or two of them were actually on Omaha Beach, and the rest were 5th Rangers or something like that. Can't quite remember. I need to double check that. So I'm working on that. I've gone to bloody town on their helmets. These are dragon ones. The texture, even, I don't know how well you can see it, but the orange diamond, it's a bit big in the scale, but I couldn't make the mask any smaller. It was driving me mad. And a small 2 decal in the middle of it. So I kind of want to make it as faithful as possible, and I've even added their did like a gas detection brassard, I think it's called. It's basically a little armband that would change colour or give off an odor if the Germans release gas. Because in the film, if you see Private Ryan, that case they have on their chests, I always thought it was their life jacket, but it's actually a gas mask set. So if they're expecting to get gassed on the beaches, so if the Germans did in fact gas them, they could get their kit out very quickly. And then the troops actually kept these rubber gas mask bags, threw the gas mask away because they were waterproof bags, so the guys used to keep their ciggies and shit inside it after the landings. So that's what I'm working on there. Again, I'll have a proper video on that. So they're the two big looks I've been working on. Also, I want to say a big shout out to 2 model makers. First, Adam Mann, who is hosting the Stug Life or Stug group build coming up on YouTube Modelers on the 1st of July, I believe. Can't wait for that. It's going to be great, and he does great reviews. So I'll put a link into his channel in the description. Please go over, subscribe to him, like him, comment on his channels, because he does great work, and he really does deserve your attention. And then also I had the absolute pleasure of talking to Ian from the 135th or 135 scale show. Myself, Andy, and Carlos are chatting away to him there, I think Friday night. Absolute gentleman. Really enjoyed chatting to you, and hopefully again soon. And again, link in his channel. He's a great show, and a very talented model maker. I'm pretty sure most of you are subscribed to him already, but for those of you who are not, do go over, check him out. Real good model maker and top rate guy. And also, I have 2 subscribers, you know who you were, who have just undergone operations, and I hope both of you are quite quickly, speedily recovering, and you're through the woods, and I look forward to hearing from you. So I hope you 2 are keeping very well, and keep the best side out. So that's all I'm going to say for this. It's quite a quick, no BS update. So there will be video updates and reports on the 2 dioramas I'm building once I have something to show you, and I have the figure for the flesh tutorial as well, ready to go. So plenty coming up, so stay tuned, enjoy your modelling, and watch out for those buses. Bye bye.